Hello, here is my IRPS number 2 presentation. So for the first about 3 minutes into the source video, I felt pretty good with my interpretation from ASL into English and from the target video into my interpretation. And then I got a little thrown off about 30 minutes into the source video and then felt pretty good until like a little bit longer and then felt like I fell apart and that I was having a hard time. And lost a lot of confidence throughout that. So I'm going to talk more about that throughout this presentation, but that was something that really impacted me. And about halfway through the video, in preparation for the video, I was feeling confident. I was feeling good about it. I was ready. I had read through everything and saw to look at the video for the first few minutes to get an understanding of the consumer. So I watched the first few minutes of that. Felt like I could keep up with the pace, felt confident in what was being discussed, and I was feeling really great going into it. And then halfway through, lost that confidence boost and was doing a lot of self-talk to where I'm like, I wish I could restart this. I wish I could redo this because I don't feel like I am showing my capacity and what I'm capable of right now. But for the sake of the assignment, I wanted to go all the way through with the video so that I could do the analysis on it and really see where I am at with that. And also consecutive interpreting is hard for me, but I think that the reading that we had to do today changed my mind on it and that it broke down a lot of misconceptions I had of consecutive interpreting. So going into this assignment, I had a really good mindset of this is something I want to improve on. And I feel like I understand more about the process as a whole. And yeah, I kind of just went into it with that. And then to lose the confidence halfway through was a little challenging. So through the lenses I wanted to work with was that I wanted to see the accuracy and clarity. And I felt like the first part, it was pretty accurate. It was pretty clear. And then halfway through, I was having a hard time with like, are they talking about permit? Are they talking about license? Those are two very different things. I kept finding myself being like, okay, which one's which? And struggling with that quite a bit. And there are some times where I would see a sign, know what it means, and be like, I do not know how to interpret that. So that was something I struggled with, but I wanted to look through that lens, and I was just having a hard time with myself throughout this. And I wanted to use the Colonomus model to be able to go through how I did this assignment and be able to look at that more. So I found myself confused by the source message at times, which linear movement down caused me to struggle with the expressive channels. And I struggled to comprehend and be able to deliver that message from the source language into the target language in both times, whether it was ASL to English or English to ASL. I found myself struggling with that. So some patterns I noticed was that when I didn't know something or when I felt frustrated, I would shut down. I'd be like, I should know this. I shouldn't be taking this long to make it accurate and clear, and I wish I could redo that. So that's a pattern that I found myself continually to notice throughout the assignment, which is a hard place to be in. And I think the impact of these patterns caused me to impact myself and my well-being in my potential like thought worlds. But by doing that, it impacted the consumers. And while I think that overall my interpretation could be followed, I do not think I did a good enough job for my consumers or for myself. And I think that that's something that is hard to wrestle with. And that's something I would like to improve on, obviously. But yeah, I noticed the impact of the patterns of myself shutting down caused me to not provide the best interpretation for the consumers, whether it was the sample video or the back translation video. Some controls I think that I could implement in this situation if it were to happen again is based on the Colonomus model in the CPR language. Instead of being evaluative and judgmental towards myself, I could use more non-evaluative and non-judgmental language. Like when something is unclear, I could say, oh, I saw that and I understood that to mean, but I think the goal was to mean. Or instead of being like, oh, I should have done that, I could say, next time my goal could be this. Yeah, I think having more positive language with myself could help with those patterns. And the next steps I want to take are to implement positive self-talk, to not be so hard on myself the whole time. I'm new to this, even though I've been taking sign language for a while. I've been learning about deaf culture, and behind the scenes of the interpreting, this is the first semester where I've been practicing it, and to where I have been using my skills to interpret, and I'm new to that. It's very different. What we're doing now is very different from previous classes, and I need to give myself grace, time, and have patience with myself. So my plans for winter break are to rest, because we all need that, but to also kind of practice going through this process, because doing it twice, while that's great, I don't think that I fully understand it still. And I think that practicing some oh, I'm going to interpret this and then I'm going to analyze it and go through my thoughts on it, I think that would help. I think that I could do a better job with this overall and do a better interpretation for future consumers, or my consumers for this video. And I need to take time. I am doing the video and I'll find myself being like, oh, even though it's consecutive interpreting, I'll be like, I should know this. I'll freeze and I'll rush through it. And that's not needed. It's okay to take time, and that's something I need to remind myself. And I think that I've seen a lot of progress within myself this semester, but I think I need to continue to be positive with myself and not be hard on myself, because I think that that's something I struggle with in a lot of aspects of my life. And I think that I saw that a lot with this assignment. And I think finishing this semester and preparing for future semesters, I need to be kinder to myself. I need to give myself time, and I need to give myself grace. And that's something that I want to work on. But I'm thankful for what I have seen myself progress on this semester, and I look forward to seeing how it continues and how I continue to see myself improve over the next few semesters. So thank you.